You're listening to the Frame100 podcast, a show by Brickfilmers for Brickfilmers.
And welcome to the Frame100 podcast, the show where a couple of hours might get you a single frame. You're listening to Season 1, Episode 8 of the show. I'm Chris, known as Gold Brick Productions, here with Jared, aka Dude Brick.
Hello, I'm here.
Who is basically a Jedi now. Trevor, aka Suited Ninja Nerd Studios.
What's up? I'm back again. Cool.
Sam, aka Locker74 Productions.
Sup, fellas?
And Marcus, aka Brick Hat Studios.
Hey, yo, what up?
How you gents doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Chris?
Doing well. Now, how was your trip?
My trip
the great
to-
excursion.
To Disney World, owned by Walt Disney himself. I saw his frozen head underground. It was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
I was going to ask about that.
Got a lightsaber, flew the Millennium Falcon a little bit, escaped from, the First Order a couple times, but I'm good in one piece. I'm good.
Most excellent. Trev, how was your not vacation in Disneyland?
Very depressing. I felt like I feel like I haven't done anything in days. I'm very sad Jared didn't let me stow away in his suitcase, but it's okay, I guess.
I didn't have enough room, I'm sorry.
I can kind of forgive him for that, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I could make the same joke that we always do when you say you don't do anything, but we could ask if you watched some brick films.
Yeah, I guess.
You're not making this forced segue any easier, you know that.
No, I'm not. That's why.
Why don't you tell us what the brick film you suggested for the brick film review?
You try to spite me, and I turn it back in your face. But anyways, So I guess we're gonna kick today's podcast off with our brick film of the week. We're gonna be talking about. Oh no, I just remembered. I don't actually have it pulled up. What's the title? I can't remember. Oh god.
It's like Lego Lord of the Rings, Gandalf, Take My Staff, or something like that.
Come on, Trev, get it together.
By Brotherhood Workshop.
Take the wizard staff.
This is bad.
There it is.
Here, wait. I'm pulling it up.
You're supposed to be the person.
So sorry. I didn't know I was the one who was.
Sam, could you
introducing this.
not die, please?
Please, that would be preferable.
Sam's dying in the very beginning of the cast. That's great.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake.
Sorry about that. But yeah, today we'll be talking about Lego Take the Wizard Staff, a Lord of the Rings parody by Mr. Brotherhood Workshop.
Brotherhood Workshop.
Mr. Kevin Ulrich.
Woo!
He's back.
He's back. Yeah, we talked about him. I think in our first week of the show being back. We mentioned that he was back in full swing, making some original content again. This video, man, I think it trumps everything he's done in the past so far. It is a really, really solid and well done video. I don't know if you guys have anything to elaborate on that.
I don't know if it's his best. He doesn't have Jerry in it.
True.
That's true.
Even though Brotherhood Workshop is back, Jerry never will be.
Rest in peace.
Sad.
I said it.
Sad.
Everywhere I
Funny
go,
enough,
I
he's
see
actually
his face.
selling Oh god. Funny enough, he's actually selling Rip Jerry shirts. I'm tempted to pick one up.
No,
I did
he's
see
not.
that,
Really?
yeah.
He is.
No.
I gotta go buy
I gotta
one.
see this.
I'm
for
pretty sure they were
myself.
linked in the description.
Oh,
They
something
were.
like
So for those in our
Merch.
audience who may be unaware, as these guys all add shirts to their shopping carts,
Oh, there
Brotherhood
it is.
Workshop got his start with Lord of the Rings parody brick films, and they were all kind of like short little comedies based off of a scene or a moment. But then his channel blew up pretty fast. He did a lot of commission work, really branched out. And now I'm guessing just with everything kind of slowing down as the world ends, he's really gotten back into form with Lord of the Rings parodies, and they're just so good. And one of the running jokes is the death of, I believe he's an Uruk-hai named Jerry at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And so all of the quote-unquote bad guys in Lord of the Rings are in mourning / memorializing Jerry. And he hasn't quite shown up in any of the recent ones, but I think it's just a matter of time before we finally get some closure to Jerry and Aragorn's little paparazzi misfire.
The top comment on the video is, "What if Jerry isn't dead and Aragorn had him the whole time?"
Oh my gosh.
That's great. Oh
The
my
plot
God.
twist. I love it.
But yeah,
For
what did
Jerry.
you guys think of the video as a whole? Because yeah, like I said, I think it's probably one of his best in years.
So I think everybody's gonna talk about the fighting. I think it's really impressive how many weapons those guys had. I thought that was
Oh,
about
yeah.
the funniest thing in
Yes.
the beginning.
That that made me laugh the most.
It's
Like
so
him
drawn
stacking
out.
all
It's
the
so
weapons
funny.
together. Like
Yeah.
imagine him masking out all the like the sticky tack or like the
Yeah.
fishing wire.
Well, like I'm impressed with when that whole scene plays out. How none of the stuff really moves unless it's like it's all very deliberate. If something moves, it's because it's being compacted by another thing. It's you never notice any moments where like he might have accidentally bumped something. Because I feel like
I think it's
that happens to a lot of animators when they have something that they're messing around with and they don't have it tacked down or secured correctly.
I think his time with Lego has helped his animation ability.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
he has this like weird I guess style is the word I'm looking for. He has this weird animation style that's very recognizable, but it's very it's like, oh, that fits for like a Lego advertisement.
Yeah.
It feels like a Lego commercial, and I think and he kind of spins it in his own way when it comes to his own original content. And I feel like it's gotten better over the years. Because I think before I wasn't a huge fan of his style, but like recently with his newer videos, I absolutely love the fight scene in this video. It's like amazing and very. I just love when he's like beating the guy down and like it just like it's very anime like, and I like it a lot because you don't see it a whole lot. Maybe in like a couple of rare animators videos, but I think it's just very cool and very cartoonish, and I love it a lot.
Yeah, there's a
It's
lot
really
of like
fast and
popping out
fluid.
joints. Oh, sorry, Chris.
Oh, I was gonna say it's pretty fast and fluid. I think that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
kind of sets him apart. Then I think he animates 24 FPS.
He does. Yeah.
Okay, good. I was correct there.
Yeah, it's really like it's really impressive too how he's able to pull off this fight scene, but be handling so many different characters moving at once. Like, you know, I'm interested to see if he actually does animate all of them at once, or if he does like one at a time, and will like digitally kind of composite stuff in. Because I know he does like to play a lot with the digital side of things with like compositing and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane the amount of like weight that he is able to incorporate into this film in particular. Because I feel like that's something that gets lost with a lot of animators' films in general. But he adds a lot of weight to each and every impact in this film, and it's really impressive.
I'm very excited to see the behind the scenes to this video because usually he releases
same,
like
yeah.
one like after the original video gets just published. So I'm excited to see whatever techniques he uses for the fight scene part of it. I also really enjoy his behind the scenes videos. I think he's got some of the best BTS out there for Lego stop motion animators.
Yes, I totally
best
agree.
in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually been using some of the tactics he's been using behind the scenes on my stuff, so it's
Oh, yeah.
definitely helped.
I've used stuff
I-
that he's shown off in behind the scenes as well.
I think a lot of us have been inspired to one degree or another by Brotherhood Workshop. Remember, a friend of mine, we made a Lord of the Rings parody animation simply just because he did them. It was a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Exactly.
Like I'm not the hugest biggest Lord of the Rings fan. Like I'll watch them. I think they're really good movies, but like I don't know names or lore or anything like that. But I think his animations were kind of like I guess they were kind of my introduction to them a little more in depth. And then I kind of got into the Hobbit trilogy, which I know is pretty like a controversial thing to say among Lord of the Rings fans, but I enjoy it. But that's just me being a casual fan. But
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. I'm not well in depth with it like most people are, but I think his animations kind of like introduced me to Lord of the Rings in a different way, and I think that got my interest peaking a little bit. And then the Hobbit trilogy came out, and then here we are.
And Lego will
This is
probably
true.
never reboot it. Haha.
Yeah.
I mean-
well,
They
Thanks,
could.
Trev.
They could.
They've got
Love you too.
No, there's an HBO show. Is it Amazon Prime or?
It's
Oh,
Amazon.
that's right.
It's Amazon,
I forgot.
yeah.
Amazon is
Yeah,
doing the
Amazon's
show.
rebooting it. So you might.
There is a
could
possibility.
See it. We could
Yeah.
see it. You're right. I didn't even think about that. Huh. Interesting.
You know what? What if we just go on Twitter and spam Lego with Minas Tirith Battle Pack?
Oh wow, yeah, what a concept.
Oh, no.
That would
That
I'm
will
sure
work,
that would work.
absolutely, and it will have absolutely no fallback on the community whatsoever.
Oh,
We
And
should
a
make a
certain
t-shirt,
individual who spearheads it will not be seen as a terrible whiny person.
Exactly.
Right. We should
Well,
make
it
we
also
should make a
Follow
t-shirt.
links.
Yeah, it also won't blow back on our face at all.
Hashtag whatever Chris said.
Yeah.
Yep, Minas
that's
Tirith
what
Battle
Chris
Pack.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell that, but go ahead. Right there.
said.
I'm not even
Well,
sure I
that's
know
fine.
actually.
Exactly.
But the point being, it's really great to see Brotherhood Workshop return to form.
Mhm.
His stuff's always been great. I've never had any,
totally.
complaints or anything. But just to see him go back to something that kind of really reignited my interest in brick filming and all impact us in some way, it's awesome. Brotherhood Workshop, if you're listening to this, keep it up. We are loving it.
I
We would love you to have you on the show.
Can
We
you
would,
can
yeah.
you voice can you voice a
Yes.
character named Brickman, please? I desperately need a voice actor, please.
I almost
give
think
you-
it would work, so he's kind of more tenor than bass range.
I'll give you I'll give you $2. Please.
That's a pretty good price.
It's a pretty.
How come he never offered any of us $2?
That
Because
is a
you
good
guys
point.
aren't
Chris
you guys
has a
aren't
point.
famous enough.
Can I have chicken
Ouch.
nuggets instead?
How
want chicken
about a
nuggets too,
mighty
actually.
75 cents?
I mean,
You
for
know what?
$1.69, that's not too bad.
You know what? I'll take
okay
it.
with that.
I'll take it.
All right.
Mhm.
Never mind. I have an actor now. It's Jared. Oh wait, he's already a character. Never mind.
You could ask me.
Did you
I
say
can do an
Yas
accent.
Queen?
No, you could ask me.
I thought you said Yas Queen. I was like, I'm sorry.
Oh.
What was that?
Trev,
Oh,
Trev, you've been
God.
simping again.
I'm sorry.
I'm adding the
I'm
Dragon
sorry.
Frame
Son,
sound
are-
effect over
are you
that
winning,
just
son?
because it's so cringe. Just
No. No.
Oh no.
Moving on.
please,
Um,
Please, desperately.
Yeah, moving on, we wanted to give a quick shout out to a good friend of ours. We met this guy at Brick Fair, Virginia last year. Miss him dearly. But we have our friend Brixter, who just recently launched a Lego Ideas project for a Legend of Zelda Link posable figure, which is available to vote for up on Lego Ideas. It's a really, really well executed model. It's something I would totally love to see them end up turning into an actual set later on. So we just wanted to give a quick shout out to our friend Brixter. Go vote for it. I personally think, like, in terms of animation, I think that would be a really neat figure to mess around with when it comes to trying to do animation with a figure that isn't a minifigure.
So
But yeah,
what we'll do, we'll put a link to the ideas page on the YouTube video.
yeah,
And in the
Is
show
it-
notes on podcast.
Yeah, we'll put it on Twitter whenever this releases.
yeah. We
So-
will definitely be putting a link up on Twitter for everybody
think
to go
he-
and vote for it.
Oh no, he just has an Instagram. He doesn't have a Twitter. He just has an Instagram. So
Yep.
go.
Yeah, you can find Brickster on Instagram and YouTube. We will be sure to link the project if you want to look it up right now. It's the Lego Legend of Zelda project by Brickster. Brixter.
Yep.
And I think I speak on behalf of our Brick Fair peoples when I say that Brickster is an incredibly talented mock artist, just a really
he's
cool
so
dude,
good.
and we
So
wish him
good.
all the best with this project.
Yes.
Exactly.
He was a cool dude at Brick Fair. I'd like to see
yeah.
that. I'd like to see that get made. Kid deserves it.
What if we get get the same booth as him again?
That'd be great.
I think his mom said she wanted us to be in the same booth as him.
Heck yeah.
Well,
I think if I recall the conversation, we all want to be in the same booth, and she was like, "Yeah, let's totally do it." And now we're all trying to figure out how to arrange it because we were miscellaneous originally.
yeah.
Forgot
Possibility we
about that.
might try and rearrange it now, so we're brick filming, but people still don't know who Brickfilmers are, so it's gonna be kind of tricky.
That
I
is
think it's
true.
gonna take. I
Nope.
think it's gonna take.
You don't
a
know
few
who I
years.
am.
So I think it's gonna take a few years for us to get brick filming status. because you're the only ones that were there, really. So
Yeah.
we might be miscellaneous next year. It just depends on how long it takes us. So I'm not too worried about it. Either way, they'll find us. Don't worry. They'll find us.
We'll figure out a plan.
He follows me on Instagram. We talk every day. I'll let him know.
There we go. There's our plan. All right. Before we transition to our main topic, I know it feels like we're hitting bullet points here, but we got some fun questions here from our audience. Y'all ready for this? See, there's one correct response, and Sam had the correct response.
What?
Love you, Sam. All right, here we go. So on
I
Twitter,
sang
we have
it
Joshua
too.
Nelson says, #Frame100. If you could turn any bad movie into brick film form, specifically in the hopes of making it better, what would it be? I think this is inspired by our ode to Neil Breen.
I am going to go
Yeah.
last because I
Ew.
have a movie, but I forget what it's called.
I'll
gotta
buy
go-
you a few minutes.
I got to go find it. Hang on. Somebody else
I'm
go.
still trying to think of a good film I
Oh.
could answer this. with.
Any bad movie?
Oh, I got it.
I don't
Okay.
think I've seen a.
I got it. All right, you guys ready
Oh,
for
that was
this?
fast.
I guess
Yes.
he's not going last.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Sorry.
Theodore
Again.
Theodore Rex. It is an awful, awful movie with Whoopi Goldberg. It is such a
Oh,
bad
joy.
movie, but there's no way to make it good. But I think if you did a brick film about it, it would be even more hilarious. Because let me just give you a synopsis of. I think I did it before, but for anybody that missed that episode, I'll give you a synopsis of what this movie is about. It is set in the future. It's about a detective dinosaur. Yes, you heard me correct. Detective dinosaur. That is paired with an android assassin, Whoopi Goldberg. Yes, I did just say Whoopi Goldberg. They are trying to stop a mad scientist from creating a new ice age. That is correct. And apparently there are a lot of species in that world.
Huh.
It's such, and then at the very beginning of the movie, they ruin who the bad guy is. It says the billionaire so and so wants to shoot a missile that will create a new ice age. I'm like, well, then why are we watching the movie? You just told us how it ends. But like, it's
Wonderful.
so bad. But dude, the brick film of it would be so. It could potentially make it better just because it would make it even more ridiculous. Like.
Right.
So what you're saying is that if you make a brick film of this, you'll tell us immediately at the very beginning who the Rose Killer is.
Yeah, basically.
Ah.
My God.
Oh.
So for anybody that wants to get like a synopsis of this movie and what it's about, go to a channel called Fanboy Flicks and type in Theodore Rex, and you are in for a treat. It is a horrendous movie, but it is extremely hilarious to watch. Go watch it. The brick film of it would be amazing. That's all I gotta say. I don't really have anything to add to brick film side of it. I just wanted to talk about Theodore Rex because it is awful, but it's almost as good as Neil Breen's movies.
Almost.
Nothing can be better. Exactly.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
He loves cookies. He gets drunk
Okay,
on
maybe
cookies.
It's close. We're really close. I mean, I don't think anybody can really surpass the great Neil Breen.
The
We'll
great Neil
all one
Breen.
day become human Breens in the sphere of Neil. But in the meantime, I'm going to cheat
Michael
a little
Bay.
bit. It's not a movie. It's a show I really hate. Sword Art Online. And only because
God.
so Josh put the prompt here specifically in the hopes of making it better. I have the worst love-hate relationship with Sword Art Online. And the problem is that it's a show that has a really cool concept, but is executed in the most terrible of ways. I'm constantly arguing with my weeb friends about it. I stand by this. I would totally remake it as a brick film if I could just find out some way to like make it not suck. And I've thought of everything. I've thought of like alternate characters. I've thought about killing all of the love triangles. I've thought about killing all the stupid tropes. I haven't thought of a version where you just have basically copy and paste the traits of the Doomslayer into the main character, so it turns into something just completely brutal and something no longer sappy. I can't crack the code. The way that Josh
Okay.
has phrased this.
I'm just all I just have to say is that we only take the first 12 episodes. Everything else is like
Even the
dead.
first 12 episodes sucked. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the first 12 episodes was like decent. Even though it's bad, it was
This is
decent compared to
true.
the others.
Yes.
It's one of
Like
those
right
that
about
gets worse
season
as it
2,
goes
like
along.
I wouldn't even try to redeem that. I would just burn it all. But and like the third one, by the time you're using guns instead of swords in your series called Sword Art Online, you need to ask yourself some real questions, such as why haven't you quit? Yeah, there's my answer. Sorry if I cheated.
Yeah, you did.
Someone else go. I'm angry now.
Jared?
I was trying to look for one that I was trying to think of, but I couldn't think of anything. But I'm gonna say the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah!
Oh,
Yeah, that's my boy.
Nah. I'll put that to the side. For real though, there's two, and Trev's not gonna like the first one I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give you two. The first
I swear
one.
to God. I swear to God. If
He
you
kn-
say what
I
I'm
think
thinking
he-
about to
Oh, no.
say,
He knows I'm gonna. Indiana Jones Temple of Doom.
I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that
Screw
doesn't
you
count
guys.
as a bad movie, though.
That's not no.
You ever heard of Willie Scott?
Yeah, it's true. Willie Scott was like
Okay,
the worst
you
part
got
of
me
that
on the
entire
fence.
It's
series.
pretty bad.
She serves no
let
purpose.
me.
Everything hurts.
She does.
She does
Oh,
not further
here's
the
something I was
plot
going.
whatsoever.
Here was something I was going to tweet, but here is a Frame100 exclusive Dude Brick tweet. It's not going to Twitter. It's going to the Frame100 podcast on this episode. Here's the tweet. Willie Scott and Jar Jar Binks are the exact same character.
I agree. 100%.
Oh my gosh.
They
Right.
Done.
they play no part in the plot. All they do is to make stupid jokes, scream for no reason, and some sort of relationship with the main character.
You know, some say that it's supposed to be like the opposite of indie, so they kind of work, but no.
They
No.
don't work at all.
Like,
Not even close.
She doesn't help further the plot whatsoever. All she does is just scream and cry, and if
Okay,
she died,
so
if she got submerged in lava, no tears would be shed. I'd be like, thank you.
So-
Indy'd probably be like, oh, thank God, we're done.
I'll take this a step further. Here's how you make it better in Brickfilm form. In the beginning of the movie,
She dies.
you have Willie Scott fall
She
out of
gets-
the plane.
She gets
She's
run
done.
over.
She's done.
She gets run over
She's
by
done.
was it a gong or something? Yeah, it was a gong from like the when they're in Club Obi-Wan.
There you go. You get
Yeah.
you get
Or-
her drinking the
or-
poison or something.
Or
I don't
she
know.
falls out the window and she doesn't actually like land in. They land right in the car. Like she ends
Dude,
up just
that-
hitting the pavement. That's
It's like-
okay. That's there you go. You've got yourself your
That-
film now. You
there
remake
it
the
is.
opening, but then it ends with Willie just dies.
It's also
you don't even need
I
to brick film
can't-
it. You just play Lego Indiana Jones free play and just never select Willie.
exactly. There you go.
Well, so okay, that
Here we go.
I can't believe
Temple
you
of
said
Doom.
that because I think it's my favorite Indiana Jones film, and they rag on me so much for not. I do
apologize.
like Last Crusade. I think it's my. Well, I don't know. I still haven't rewatched Crystal Skull, so I can't say it's my least favorite. But
I think we need to just set this one in stone. Crystal Skull is the worst one of the series.
Yeah.
To be fair-
whoa.
To be fair,
well, I don't think
Indiana
they're bad.
Jones is
They're not
pretty
all bad
darn
movies.
great no matter
They're
how
all
you
good
spin it.
movies. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're all
Yes.
great movies.
Here-
Like
It's-
I can
I
enjoy
know-
Crystal Skull, I just kind of restrain myself from trying to rewrite certain elements.
Here's the thing. I was thinking about I know we turned this into an Indiana Jones conversation. This probably isn't the
fine.
point.
I love that.
I do too.
This isn't what Josh Nelson
love,
intended.
I love talking about Indiana Jones, but here's the thing. I was watching Temple of Doom. Literally, me and my fiance, she said, and I quote her, "This movie sucks," and we stopped like halfway, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't know." But here's my thing. I was thinking about Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is so weird because it's like you go from Raiders, which is action packed fighting the Nazis, and you go on Treasure Hunt. It's awesome from beginning to end. It's I think it's one of the most perfect movies there is.
Yeah.
And you go into Temple of Doom, which is very. It's very like the studio went, hey, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, we want you to like tone it down a little bit, with add some jokes in there. And they're like, sure, why not? And George Lucas is like, hey, how about we get like a devil Satan guy reaching for hearts into people? How about that?
What?
And then Steven Spielberg's like, that's great. Don't tell the studio. And then you get that. It's a weird juxtaposition of like, here's Willie Scott, Jar Jar Binksing it up, but also here's like kids being slaves, digging rocks out of the cavern, and then you got the Satan devil dude grabbing hearts out of people. It's a weird juxtaposition, and then I was like, you know what? I think I enjoyed Crystal Skull a little more just because one, Willie Scott's not in it. That's one point. That's already a W in that camp.
You've hurt me so much today, Jared. I can't believe you.
Even though the aliens are very, very like, why? I think the whole like adventure of it is very cool and interesting. Yeah. Up until like the hour 20 mark, it's like, I don't know about that, Steven and George.
Ants.
Well, see,
I like the ants.
I actually like the ants.
Oh, the ants was hilarious.
The ants bit's funny.
I rewatched that
ants
scene.
are kind of terrifying. Like
They are.
They're
Yeah.
CGI clearly, but like the thought of a bunch of like monster ants,
Dude,
for the sake of not spoiling for the audience, acting as they do in the movie. Holy crap, that's terrifying. I will say this though about Temple of Doom. I read a little bit into like the making of it, and apparently for both George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, they were just like really, like there was a lot of friction. They were just kind of in really dark mindsets.
It was a messy production.
It was messy. It was stressful. But I think that's why I appreciate Temple of Doom, because even though like a lot of things went horribly wrong, they still managed to make a movie that it kind of does still feel indie just enough.
Yeah. Oh no, there's no. I'm not denying that at all.
So
I have a hard time sticking like Temple of Doom below Crystal Skull, because at least Temple of Doom in the end, you get to the minecart scene, you get to the bridge scene, and it's like, hey, okay, indie's back in full form. Crystal Skull, it feels like indie just kind of tapers off like straight to the retirement home. Not a fan of that,
Yeah, I get that.
I will speak my piece now on this matter. I think the reason I like Temple of Doom so much is because that opening is straight banging, man. It's so good. It's
the Willie
such a
Scott
good opening
musical
for the film.
Why do you like the Willie Scott musical?
No, it's everything that happens after the fact. When it's like the club fight and everything, it's so cool. And then you got like the chase through the streets and everything with Short Round. Short Round makes that movie for me.
Yes. Okay.
I will say.
Okay. Here.
That's Short Round.
Here's the thing.
I thought he was in the
Short Round. Short Round is my favorite character, and I saw something on. This is such a tangent. I saw something on Twitter the other day. A screenwriter I follow, he like apparently pitched like a 1950s like older Short Round series, and it starred Steven Yeun in it, and it sounded so dope.
I feel like
But apparently they turned it down. But anyways, Short Round's like one of my favorite characters. I would say Short Round is my favorite part of Temple of Doom. He is 100% my favorite part of Temple of Doom.
Look, I'm not arguing
that's pretty hard to argue
Doom is bad. I'm just saying Willie Scott for me
sucks.
Ruined
yes.
it.
That's
the only thing.
I can't disagree with that.
Now,
but like again, what makes Temple of Doom for me is the opening with the club. The club is just so cool. The middle, like I can understand the middle being like a little annoying for people because it's a very the whole middle of that film is very drawn out. They're like very much trying to build a lot of mythology behind it, and like. There's not a lot that happens there, but then you've got when they're finally like helping all those slave children escape, and then you've got the whole fight scene with them going up and down like there's like the water wheel, and then like there's the steamroller wheel that like crushes the one dude or whatever, and then that moves into the minecart chase, which is just so cool, and then you've got the bridge scene, which I unapologetically think that bridge scene is indie at his peak. Like, I think that is the best indie moment, maybe other than the opening to Raiders, because the opening to Raiders, you can't beat that.
That's another podcast right there.
I would agree that that's indie at his peak. Maybe not his best per se, but like it feels like indie's back to full form.
There's so
much
much
total
tension.
sense considering the way
there's
the film
so
has
much
built
tension
up.
going on in that scene, and it is unmatched to me. Like for me at least. Again, all subjective. But
Yeah,
like,
Like,
I-
I would still agree. Like thematically, Indy's been beat down so much over the movie
exactly.
that the bridge scene feels like he's finally, he's back. His mind's clear. He's focused, and he's just kicking butt again.
Now,
Like-
I would like to remind everybody that Temple of Doom is a prequel.
Yes,
So
Wait,
true.
it
Yeah.
how did
takes
I-
place in the
What?
late
It's like-
1930s, and Raiders takes
Yeah.
place in the early 1940s.
Oh my god, Trevor's so mind blowing.
How did I not know
no.
that?
no, Chris.
No, that's right.
Oh, did I get it
All
wrong?
right,
No,
it-
no,
I think it's like early 30s for Temple of Doom, and I think late 30s, like 39 for Raiders.
yeah,
Oh,
it's like
you're
38,
right.
39,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah.
Here, I will end this Indiana Jones conversation because
Oh my god, how did I not know that? Holy crap!
I'm sorry.
God.
I think one of my problems with Temple of Doom is that like in Raiders and Last Crusade, he's like actually chasing an artifact. Like he's like assigned by Brody or to chase an
Yeah.
artifact. Like
Yeah.
he's like given a mission. But in Temple of Doom, he just like happens upon this village and they're like, our rock, it's gone. Our children, it's gone. And he's like, bruh,
Well, I guess
I'll go find it, I guess. And it's just weird to me that he like, I don't know. I prefer an indie who gets given like an assignment of like, indie, here's this
Yeah.
rare cup that gives you, life. And he's like, sure, Brody, let's go. And he goes.
There's
Man,
also
But yeah,
not
I
enough-
gotta
there's
rewatch
not
the
enough
whole
betrayal.
franchise again now.
I don't know. But that's my pick for a bad movie. I would turn to Brickfilm. All right, who's next?
Sad. I guess I'll go
next.
Or, go ahead.
Oh,
Marcus. Go ahead.
okay, rock,
Marcus.
paper, scissors? No,
Go
JK. Coin flip. Okay, I'll go ahead. Okay, so it's this, if I remember correctly, it was this zombie flick called like Zombie Apocalypse. It was like really, really, I mean, it's your basic zombie story, but like it was so bad because the CGI was horrible. Because like, obviously the humans get infected, they become zombies, yada yada, but they also had zombie dogs.
Oh.
And then the end,
Why?
they also had like this really, really poorly animated CGI zombie tiger.
A tiger.
Oh, no.
What
A
the
tiger,
heck?
yes. And I don't know why. I watched this when I was like really into zombie films, and I'm just like, what am I watching? I was
That
like, oh
sounds
god,
about-
I just
that
wasted
sounds
like 2
pretty
hours
accurate.
right there.
What's the title of it again?
Zombie Apocalypse.
Huh,
Literally.
I haven't heard of
That's
it.
a very, very creative title. Yeah.
I know there was a similar one called House of the Dead. I think that was Uwe Boll, which is pretty bad, but yours
Oh.
sounds even worse.
Oh no, I can
Oh,
go
it's
even a
so
step. I can't remember the exact name of the movie, but there's like 2 movies, and they're hilariously terrible but great. I don't remember the exact title, but it's basically in like Poland or Sweden or something. These like snowboarders and hikers go to like the cold mountain to ski or something.
You mean
And
the
then
opening
they
to The
awake-
Grinch?
No, they awaken dead Nazi zombies.
I've heard
Oh
of
my
this.
God.
And
my
the
God.
Nazi
Lord.
zombies
Oh, no.
like they get like old German style tiger tanks from like a museum or something, or like a surplus
God.
shop, and then they attack these Swedish or Polish people, and it is hilarious. There's like 2 movies. I can't remember the exact title, but
Okay, at that point,
I'm looking for it.
they just made it just to be funny at that point.
oh, it is amazing.
Are you sure though? Because some directors are blissfully unaware.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Jesus. That sounds
All right,
great.
go Trev.
If you want a good zombie movie to check out One Cut of the Dead. It's a very funny film about people trying to film a sort of like found footage zombie film. That's like it's a live taping in Japan. But then there's like an actual zombie outbreak that happens unbeknownst to all the actors in the film. It's a very entertaining flick. So I would highly recommend that. For my pick, I don't know. I'd probably like. I refer to a list of films that a lot of stuff that I've watched over like the past 2 years. A couple days ago, and I ended up seeing a couple of films that I had that were fairly poorly rated on the spectrum. One of which was the 2018 high-grossing film Venom.
Oh, perfect.
Starring
Easy.
Tom Hardy.
Oh
Easy.
my gosh. You know how many times Ryan quoted that during the
I've-
camping trip?
I don't think I've ever walked out of a I've never gone to the theater and saw something that I was just so conflicted about, and so just I just felt nothing after seeing that film. Like,
I still haven't seen it. That's the sad part about it.
yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I thought it was okay.
it's like, there's some, it does some good stuff, but then it does like another 4 things that just plummet it further
Yeah,
into the hole.
there are
it's
like
already
too
dug
many
for itself.
questions, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
and-
five terrible things for one good thing.
Exactly,
Yeah, I
yeah. And it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
the logic behind a lot of it. There's a moment in it where it just defies all logic of what the parasites are like capable of doing. And then the finale fight is so dark, like you can't see anything. Like there's what is it? There's like I know it was done partially in the dark to help with like hiding a lot of the CGI and like helping to aid that a bit. But it's just like you can't see what's going on. Like I'm pretty sure I walked out of the film with like a headache just because of that scene alone. Because it's just so hard to see what's going on.
Yeah, I need to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's one that I would totally recommend watching just because, it's a thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny that it has like its own like cult following to it.
it's got a
Like,
very
people-
weird cult following.
It's one of those weird
Yes.
times where it's like it's I guess it's kind of like the Star Wars prequels where all of a sudden these people are like, man, these movies are masterpieces, man. I love them. But I don't know. I still haven't seen it yet, but I want to whenever I can and feel like I want to be drunk one night and just watch it. Because
Dude, I'm down.
It's
Totally,
Tom Hardy
yeah.
going.
I think one of my favorite parts about Venom, I noticed that there was a screenshot, like a computer screen in the background, and then one character's all, vital signs are stable. If we look at the numbers, some medical student pointed this out, the patient's heartbeat is like stupid fast, like unhealthy fast, and their blood pressure is through the roof.
Oh my god.
No, I don't think their vitals are stable. I think they need a doctor.
Movie
Like,
magic.
I thought it was just the
Exactly.
funniest.
Wait,
Yeah.
was it true that in the trailer or movie itself that Venom actually said like a turd in the wind?
Yes,
Like a real thing?
that
Like a
is.
turd.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So
Like
that was a
turd
real thing.
floating in the wind.
Yes.
That was
It's like the
a real
dialogue is so god awful in that film. Like I don't know how that could ever get past. Like how
I
that
don't
was
know.
passed by on like by a screenwriter. Like it's insane to me. But the crazy thing is, the sequel that's coming out next year called what's it called? I can't remember now. It's
Venom,
Carnage?
Here's Carnage. There's Carnage.
Here
something
comes Carnage or something like that. Yeah, something like. It's not a very good title either.
Oh,
but
that
like
reminds me.
I'm so excited for the sequel. Like it's really weird.
Yeah, I low key
My
am
man.
too.
Oh man.
It's just like that. I saw the after credit scene because I was very curious.
Yeah.
And Woody Harrelson is so terrible.
Dude.
It's like
Dude,
there's
it's-
gonna be
Yeah, I know. Like the way he,
carnage.
it's just so forced. I'm
It's
just like,
so
oh,
bizarre.
no.
Like I don't
So
know.
they're making
man.
a
It's-
second Venom movie. What are they gonna do this time? Have NF write the title song?
Oh god, that song is
Oh
so
come on,
laughably bad.
Eminem NF like rivalry.
That song
Fine,
is so
whatever.
awful. Like oh god.
Hey, I
But,
liked
yeah,
it.
it's so weird. I'm excited for the sequel. Like you've got Woody Harrelson in it, like acting as a legitimately insane character.
Who's
And then it's
phoning it
directed-
in.
That's Woody
And then it's
Harrelson
directed
on a
by
regular
Andy
basis.
Serkis. Like I love Andy
Woody.
Serkis. He's a great he knows mocap. So like I can't see how the mocap in the film, like the animation of the characters would be bad.
Yeah.
I
don't
granted, it's
think, like,
Sony,
the-
so they could easily screw it up.
You know damn
I
well
mean-
Woody
The first
Harrelson's
one
gonna
is-
phone that in. All
He's gonna
he's
phone
like
it in.
he's like Harrison
They
Ford.
could not pay him enough to do it.
Okay, I'm just gonna go on a side tangent because we talked about Indiana
Oh,
Jones
Lord.
and it cracks me up. Sorry, Trev, I don't mean to step on your moment, but you step on my moment all the time, so you deserve this.
Good.
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 Do you know what's really funny? I'm just gonna go a small one. What's really funny to me is when you watch Harrison Ford interviews
Oh my
before,
God,
like
they're
him
the
promoting
best.
a movie. Whenever he's
That's my
promoting a
favorite
movie,
pastime.
like if you look at other, they're like, I just really like the character. You know, it really taught me something. And then there's Harrison Ford, just like, I got paid. That's the only reason I did the movie. He was like, you know, it's bad, right? I got paid. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. Call the
That's
water.
the
Dude,
only
one-
reason.
one-
that is
Harrison Ford.
that is the only reason he's doing the next Indiana Jones movie is because they gave him a gigantic check, and he was like, all right.
one of
Okay,
my
good.
favorite interview. It's so awkward and cringeworthy. It's him for, I think it's called The Wild, but the guy was asking him
probably is.
it was a Star Wars question, and the guy was like, "So do you think do you think Han Solo was a Force ghost in the Rise of Skywalker?" And Harrison Ford like looks at the camera, looks at him, and he's like, "I don't care."
It's so funny. He's like, how would I know? Like, he's like, I don't care at all.
He just doesn't give a fat lick, and I love it.
He literally.
You know what the best one is though? The best one, sorry Sam. The best one is when like I think he like dropped the Falcon or something, the actual Lego Millennium Falcon.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
asked to sign for. He just like froze it or something.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that
I
Like
remember
he
that.
held it,
hurts me.
he like held it, and he goes, "Oh, sorry," and he drops it and just shatters, and he's like, "Well, let's move on."
Alright,
It's like
Bye.
I know there's
Oh,
so
that
many.
would-
There's so many in the
would-
on the Facebook Lego community that was so mad when he dropped that. It's like he'd be leaving in a body bag. I'm like, no, he wouldn't.
He's Harrison Ford. He already looks
Harrison
like he's in a
Ford.
body bag.
The man,
It's like,
the
none of
man's
you are
in
gonna
what?
do
He's in like
anything.
what, his 70s, his 80s. Like it's
He's
He's
80s.
like early 70s.
Well, like, can you
No,
really
he's
blame
80s.
the dude though? Like, he was a critical part in Star Wars, which has a fan
70.
base so toxic, not even a Half-Life suit
Dude.
could save you. And Indiana Jones, which we're still arguing about. Like,
Oh, there's
he
another
really
one.
just wants to be left alone.
Blade Runner.
yeah.
Any like Jack Ryan movie or anything?
The
Air
Fugitive,
Force
The
One.
Witness.
Air Force One.
Yeah,
Don't forget Air Force
One.
One. The
Air
Fugitive.
Force One, baby.
Uh,
Fugitive.
Yeah.
Dude, the Fugitive.
Dude, he's a part of like so many
Witness.
franchises. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he's a
It's
great
ridiculous.
Money.
actor.
But, like, the reason why I bring up Star Wars and Indiana Jones specifically, those fan bases can be exhausting. So I don't blame him
oh,
one
God,
bit.
Yeah.
Like if I was in his case, I wouldn't even fake dropping the Millennium Falcon as an accident. I'd just deliberately do it.
Fun fact about Harrison
But
But
Ford.
then again,
one,
I'm not famous, so
One more fun fact about Harrison Ford. He frequently flies to Wichita, like all the time.
And you don't go meet him?
Because
after stories like this, of course he doesn't meet him.
no, he doesn't. He stays like within the vicinity of the airport, and he only goes to one restaurant. Like it's like once a week he goes there to eat, and everybody knows that's where he's at. So he rents out the entire restaurant so no one can come up and talk to him.
That's a great man.
I don't blame
love
him.
He
That
just-
sounds
I
very
don't blame
Harrison
him.
Ford, though.
He's just like, I don't want anybody to bug me. Here's $50,000. Tell everybody to screw off, and everyone's like, you bet it. Here's your menu. Here's your whiskey. Just don't crash your plane, please.
Oh no, not again.
Oh my God, not again.
All right, we've talked enough about Harrison Ford and his beautiful, beautiful hair. All right, let's
Oh my
let's
gosh.
let's move
We didn't
on.
talk about his hair though, but it is beautiful.
It's
It is
very
gorgeous.
luscious.
Close enough.
I want it.
Well,
I s-
in the interest of forced segues, film can make people tired, but it also doesn't. And so some of us do it as a hobby, and some of us do it as a job. This is the worst segue I've done in a while.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
It's all right. It works.
That's something we've been talking about as of late with a certain individual giving life advice who shall remain anonymous. And we're sitting here thinking, working in film is one thing, having film as a hobby is another thing. And if I recall correctly, pretty much all of you guys work in film except for me.
Well,
True.
I wouldn't say.
Video creation, yeah.
I would say I don't know.
Film.
Say I wouldn't really say Trev is working in it. I'd say he's.
I'm not
learning.
working in it. I'm
Yeah.
learning
Well,
it.
Trev will eventually be there.
Yeah, but
Of
yeah,
hopefully.
I don't know if I'm like in story like filming like Marcus and Trev. I'm just in like the event videography.
Yep.
Yeah, you're more.
And-
You guys are more videography than
like commercial
film-
based.
filmmaking.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like I've discovered recently I like sports photography or sports videography and like event videography. So I'm not really into like dialogue and stuff like that. I just
You
I
don't
just
want to be
like-
the one to direct the next Indiana Jones.
basically like
Dude.
I've always
Shoot,
told
I would.
I would.
Well, I've always see. I've
Give me
always
the
told
contract.
people. I've always told people that my lifelong dream is to make a feature length movie. That has recently changed because I'm like, yeah, I couldn't. I don't know enough. I didn't go to film school. I don't know enough about like filmmaking in general to do that. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm okay with just doing it in Lego, and I'm working on that now. So
I mean, once you finish Ace Brickman, it'll be like a 2 feature length
Two,
films.
yeah.
put together. So there you go. That counts in some way.
Yeah. So that's all I gotta say
think it's
about
a-
that.
I guess the reason a lot of us do the hobby. I am not in film or videography or anything. I'm in engineering, which means I stare at a computer and I cry. And I will never be at a point in my life where I'm making a movie, like a feature-length film. It's just not going to happen. I enjoy doing it in Lego, so I definitely claim it as, as a hobby. I know that a lot of us, I remember Austin, when he was on Frame100, mentioned that often that he wanted to go into film, like when he was a kid. I kind of want to as well. But then enough commissioned video projects from my family and relatives made me realize I kind of like someone else telling me what to do.
Right.
Like, the frustrating thing is, ask any of my family members, like, what in the world, their favorite, like, video of mine is, and they'll probably mention some really crappy camping slideshow where it's just a bunch of photos they gave me and paid me $20 for. Like, no,
Hey, that's pretty
I
good.
don't want to do that, I want to be able to do my own thing.
I mean, I think technically, like, your vlogs, you probably could get into videography right now, because like your vlogs are sort of like, they kind of teeter on that line of videography rather than just regular vlogs, I guess. I think you're on that line. You could cross it if you wanted to, but you're kind of staying on the campy unicorn onesie line.
I think if you wanted a side hustle,
You're
I think
also-
you could
for
do
me.
You're also enough of a comedian that it would work.
Yeah. Like I said,
I
think
think
if
it could
you-
be fun, just like... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I think if you wanted a side hustle, you could probably do some video on the side. I think.
Like freelancing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't.
I'd be tempted.
I'm not saying like do it full time, because I don't know. Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean,
of work.
I think like I think your recent BTS to your Ninjago film for Brawl, I think your BTS for that is very documentary like. Whether you realize it or not, it has that documentary feel to it. So you could definitely teeter into that direction as well. And that definitely is like here's an example of what I've done before, and it's like a how-to video of sort of some way, kind of into my process, and it's cool, and I think you could definitely kind of lean into the documentary how-to instructional video world if you wanted to, but it's a lot of work. Don't do it.
Well, yeah, I appreciate the sentiment. Because it's one thing that's always kind of, I guess, confused me about you guys is how you're able to do video-related work, but not get so burnt out on it that you still want to do brick film projects. With the exception of Trevor, who's still animating his horror film. I had to do it, Trev.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Love you.
But as a friend.
Yeah, that I know that's one thing I've found myself personally dealing with in the work I do is like, yeah, where do you draw that line? Like, because I think it's cool when you can make a living doing what you love, but like I wouldn't see myself making. I don't think I would want to necessarily make a living in animating brick films or like doing stop motion full time. Like I don't think I would ever want to go work at a stop motion studio specifically. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's a very fine line to draw, and it's kind of hard to find that balance. I know, like for me, I want to go into film specifically because I think I have a lot of really cool stories to tell, and I have a lot of things that I like want to share with the world in that regard.
Right.
Whereas I feel
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish. You finish real quick. I got something.
The last thing I was going to say was basically that I think with brick filming it's really cool because it gives me a canvas to kind of problem solve a little bit differently than you would with other, like with doing live action or like a studio based animation. You know, you get a lot more control over it, and you know it's a cool little way to experiment with smaller ideas more.
You also don't have to deal with people, so.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
I mean,
my favorite part.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's very true. I think for me, I don't think I would ever. If I was offered the opportunity to work in like a stop motion studio, I guess I would take it. But I'm nowhere near good enough to do that, nor I have the patience for it. I mean, I barely can have the patience for it now, honestly.
Sad.
But I think the reason why I want to pursue filmmaking and am pursuing and in a very slow fashion is because kind of what Trev said to piggyback off that, it's kind of like I want to create something and make people feel the way I feel during movies that I thoroughly enjoy. Like,
Also cry a lot.
Yeah, cry a lot. It's like if I can make like here's to tangent off that, any like video production video or wedding video or anything I've done for work and it's made people cry, that immediately is like it's a fist pump. It is an immediate
You've
fist
done
pump.
your job. You know you've done your job.
It's like it is the perfect compliment. I hate to say it, but it is the best compliment you can receive as like a videographer or an editor, because that you know that touched somebody. Well, I don't know what the camera is for the webcams, but it's kind of like it touches somebody in that part in the heart, and it hits those emotions exactly. And that's kind of the same feeling I want to hit at somebody when they watch a movie that I make or a TV show or I don't know some kind of pilot on the internet or something. I don't know, some kind of streaming service, Disney Plus kind of show. I want somebody to hit that emotional side of their feelings and kind of tap back to I don't know, their life or like, you know, their family or something. That's kind of like the thing I want to relay in my films or in my type of media that I create. I want somebody to, I guess, not only cry but to feel something, and that's because I like to feel that kind of stuff when I watch movies or when I watch TV shows. I think when I feel that's when I know, man, this is a great TV show, or man, this is a great movie. And I want people to feel the same way I do when I watch something on screen. So that's kind of like the reason why I want to pursue filmmaking and you know, this hard career that I've chosen for myself, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to point B from point A.
Oh my god!
Holy
Jimmy,
crap! I'm inspired.
that was so cool. I'm not crying. I'm not crying because it inspired me. I'm crying because that wedding video was so bad. I can't believe you made something so bad.
When did you get married, Trev?
It's so bad.
Man.
Yo,
Did you offer to
Jared,
pay Jared an
those are the
exposure?
exact
That's not how you
reasons.
do it.
I had to
Golly.
wait so long for you to finish your tangent to pull that joke. Jesus.
Trev was like, he was like writing it down like, oh, this is good. Hold on.
I practiced it a couple times while you were still talking. It's
Yo, that
great.
payoff though. Oh man.
Oh,
But
man.
no, Jared.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, I do it for the same reasons as Jared, to be honest. And not only because of that, it's because like mainly guess I could go a little bit deep into this conversation, but as a
Please.
kid, my parents usually go out and work, so it's just usually me and my brother home alone. And so usually I just like watch a bunch of movies, and that's basically how I was brought up. And so essentially the reason why I want to get into film is because I want to make a story where like it teaches people like morals, stories, and like all that, because like the best way we learn is through stories, because I'm not good. I'm not. Yeah. What was I going?
You're not
was I going
good.
with that
End of
story?
I'm not good in like
It's the impact of stories.
like teaching like directly. Like I have to do it through a story. I
Yeah.
like telling stories.
Yeah,
that's
no, I
why.
totally get that.
But to really answer Chris's question about how I can do both filmmaking as a career and brick filming as like a side hobby, is because for the film career, I don't own that work, you know. It's not my creation. Like in Hollywood, you don't own anything.
You really don't. No, unless
They-
you're,
unless
unless
they
you're a
own
studio
you.
exec.
Studio.
They own
Unless,
you.
unless you're a studio exec, you don't own crap. Even if you're a studio exec, you're one of many studio execs that own something, to be honest. Just got to work your way up to being the next Bob Iger. So then you can own
Good
everything.
lord, man. I don't like. I've been very random tangent. I don't know why I'm on this.
We're on
But
a
I've
lot
been
of
very-
those today.
I've been very
Dude,
interested in like his master class, because like
Yes,
I,
yeah.
I don't know anything about business or anything like
Neither
that.
do
but
I.
like Bob Iger, just like it's just interesting to me. Like, how do you get from like
It comes
bottom guy to owning
The
Walt
top
Disney
dog.
World to
It's
knowing
like-
where Walt Disney's frozen head is? I mean, how do you get to that spot? and it's
like
just so interesting to me.
He's so nonchalant about it. Like he's very chill about
Yeah,
how he does. Like it just comes naturally for him. It's very impressive. Yeah, and to speak on the whole wanting to go into film thing one last time, I know another reason I really like to do film is because it's a really neat way to do problem solving for stories that otherwise couldn't really be made in any ways else. Because like, you know, to bring up a recent example for a film that I just watched, this will make you happy, Sam. Blade Runner 2049. That film, man, like there's so many moving parts to it. Like there's a lot of, there's a lot of insane work and problem solving that goes into creating that whole entire world. And, you know, like that's the really cool thing about filmmaking is it can introduce you to so many different types of people, so many different worlds. It's limitless. And that's like the really cool thing about it is I don't think you can really get bored of it necessarily. I think you can grow out of it, but there's so much you can do with it. There's a giant realm of possibilities.
I like to compare filmmaking to like New York City. There's so many avenues you can go down, and so many different streets, so many different pathways you can go down with filmmaking, and it's unlimited. There's unlimited things you can do with it, and I think that's what entices me when it comes to that career. Because no matter how much you love it or hate it or want to leave it, something will draw you back right to where you got that feeling. Where you got that feeling from watching, you know, Star Wars the first time, or watching Blade Runner, or watching Indiana Jones. That feeling will eventually come back to you. And I lose that feeling a lot, all the time. Recently, I haven't been as passionate about it, but I hate doing this, but watching like Knives Out or any other Rian Johnson film, I hate to say this, but he's like so inspiring to me because like he was this low indie guy. I mean, he's only made like 4 films, but like each film he puts like all his passion and work into, and there's so much care and so many themes in his scripts that really, I mean, they're genre films, but they really inspire me because he's not a studio director. I mean, other than Star Wars, everything else is very indie, very independent, and it's just very inspiring for me from someone who comes from, here we go, another Star Wars, you know, comparison. I'm pretty much like Rey from nowhere, man. I'm just like, I come from a small town, Alabama. Yeah, no. But I feel like there's something out there in the galaxy. God, I hate this. I'm sorry. There's something out there in the galaxy for me, and a better story for me. And there's a pathway I have to take, but it may take me, you know, down 5th Street and then down the 10th block and then down to Broadway. I don't know, New York, whatever. I'm walking here, you know, kind of thing, and it'll lead me to where I want to be. But it's gonna take effort and passion, and I got that passion, but it's gonna take all that effort to get there, and I'm gonna give it all I got for the next, you know, 4 blocks. But we'll see when I get there. I don't know. It may be until I'm 47 or 32. I don't know. Spielberg directed his first film at 27. I'm 23. I got 4 years. Give me 4 years. I can do it. We'll see.
You got this. Yeah, I now demand that you just speak in Star Wars allegories going forward. That's just... Whew.
We went from New York all the way to space.
Let's go.
Heck yeah, baby.
I'm pretty inspired.
That's the only logical reasoning behind that.
Sam.
You guys are motivating
Sam's turn.
me. How about
Sam's
you, Sam?
turn.
So
he doesn't know where to go from here.
I literally don't. I actually just like forgot what the question was. Like, we went from
How are you
New
able
York,
to balance animation with film as a career?
honestly, I really just want to make money so I can buy Legos and pay bills. And apparently and apparently
speaking real
There is nothing wrong with that.
And apparently I'm good at videoing for some reason, so I'm like, I can make a career out of that. For real though, I think what I like about video, like what keeps it different from my animation, what I do a lot of sports videos at my job. and that's like my favorite thing to do right now because there's not a lot of planning. You just show up to the game and be like, okay, we're gonna shoot and get some action shots, and the same thing with like event photography. I don't really there's no like you don't have to storyboard really or anything like that. You just show up and be like, all right. It's very moment oriented. Yeah, and I think that's what I like because I think that's how I keep it separated for me is because with animation I plan out, like I have a script, I have an idea in my head, but when I go do like event videography or something like that, there's no plan. You just kind of go shoot and then continue on. So I guess you kind of like the free reign of it all. Like you kind of like this spontaneity of it. I guess is the term I'm looking for.
Great word.
While with animation, it's very, very, very planned animation because you're very like precise and very specific when it comes to your storyboards or scripts or animation styles. It's very meticulous. Is that the word, Trev? Word of the day.
Meticulous. Yeah,
meticulous.
Our word of the day. Another new segment on the Frame100 podcast. Word of the day.
Frame100's word of the day.
That's a letter.
The Frame100 multi-syllable word of the day.
Anyway, but yeah, I think
word of the
that's
day
how
can't have like one syllable.
I think that's how I'm able to keep them separate. I think that's how I don't get burnout. Is because, like Jared said, one's planning, animation's planning, and then my job is just seeing what happens. Like I just retweeted it. My company just put out our highlight reel for the summer. And I didn't plan any of those shots. None of those were planned. The editing wasn't planned. I was just kind of like, all right, here's some guns. Cowboys, go out, do your thing. I'm gonna film you, and I got some really good stuff. So, like I said, I think that's how I keep it separated.
There you go.
I just want to pay bills, feed my dog, and buy Lego, and I'm living the dream right now.
There it is.
So,
we're all living the dream.
Yeah, everyone's like, I want to make people cry. I want to do this. Was like, I just want to make money and pay bills. So,
the Harrison Ford of the group,
but
he's better.
Let's be
Sam
honest.
is the Harrison Ford of the group.
I'm gonna brag a little bit. I look the most like Harrison Ford out of everybody here.
Oh my god!
You act the most like Harrison Ford out of everyone here.
You do, yeah. It's very true.
I mean.
Dang it, why did I dress as
You're a regular Indiana Solo right over there.
Why did I dress as Indy when I was Sam
I have a fedora.
For Halloween? We should have just had Sam do it. I'm no match.
I have a fedora, so I can wear that. I can wear that to Brick Fair next year. Show up and be like, "Sup, guys?
Please, dude.
What up? I got."
If you do that, every clip where you're wearing the fedora will have the Indiana Jones theme in the background.
Dude, it's crushable.
Exactly.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's crushable. I'll wear it. I'll put it in my suitcase, and then I'll wear it every day at Brick Fair and be like, "I am the biggest nerd here. What up?"
Not as big as me. My straw hat.
Yeah, I wear that.
So if we're dressing up for Brick Fair, then I have full permission to wear the onesie.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh yes, of course.
What's my thing gonna be? What Jared and I? What is our thing gonna be? Because we don't really have like any
Jared's got a lightsaber
thing. That's true.
Aren't you like the suited ninja or something?
Well,
I know Marcus has the box.
I could dress up like a ninja. I could just do like the head wrap thing and have my ninja hood.
Head wrap.
Marcus has the box.
Jump back, whip
he'll
around,
just hide in
and
the
spin
box
all
like he
over
did
the
last
place.
time.
So, all right. Well, that was a good round robin of what all we do, what we do with filming other than animation. So,
well, I have one more question to pester you with.
Okay,
Oops.
Chris, take us
All
home,
right.
buddy.
Thought-provoking question of the week. Which Lego theme do you want? I'm kidding. No. We have a different thought-provoking question of the week.
Do not spite
something
me,
a little more,
sir.
something a little more rapid fire and playing to the group's personality here. So we have a scenario. So you've been kidnapped. You don't know by who. You don't know how. But you know that someone can probably rescue you. And so you can pick any of the other 4 hosts here to send a message to. But it has to be a message that's secret and indicates that you have been kidnapped and need help.
Ooh.
So,
okay,
who do you pick
I
to send a message to?
on Twitter.
And 2, what is the message?
Ooh, that's tough. I think
Jared.
about
I got
Go ahead,
Jared.
Sam.
I call
I
Do
call
Trev.
we have to
Jared
each
because-
call somebody? Do we have to each call somebody different because like hypothetically?
Oh no,
we have-
there can be duplicates if you want.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
I got it. I got it.
I'm gonna say,
Okay.
I'm gonna say, Jared. If I say, man, this scene looks really good.
Wait, but how are you getting that message to him?
I'll send him the
Matt,
scene
what
and
are
be
your
like, man,
questions?
this looks fire. In reality, I question everything I animate when I send it to you guys. So if Jared picks it up, be
Very
like,
true.
But you've been kidnapped. How would you don't have? Well, I guess you might have a clip on your phone.
No. If you had access to one social media,
Oh, I
Yeah,
missed that
I'm
part.
thinking like
That's a
Twitter or
scenario.
Discord, even just like a phone
Okay.
call. It's kind of semantics at that point.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. I would pick Chris, and I would call him, and I would say, Chris, man, I really love the Rise of Skywalker. And then Chris would immediately fly over and like bring like a giant sword or something to come save me or something.
this is what I would tell Trev. Hey, yo, Trev. Did you play the new Zelda game? I think it's trash, like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's a giveaway. That's a dead giveaway. I'd question
Because
it.
for anybody who doesn't know, I love Legend of Zelda, and I like talk about Breath of the Wild 2 like every other week to Trev, like complaining to him like, "Where's Breath of the Wild 2, man? I need that now."
It's coming,
Alright, Jared.
I swear.
oh yeah, Jared already went. Never mind. Chris?
It's Trevor's
shoot,
turn
I
now.
mean,
oh, it's Trev. Sorry.
I hate this. I feel like it's calling favorites. It's weird. You know, I know Chris is a capable guy. I'd probably oh, I'm gonna dig myself here. Jesus Christ. Hey Chris, wanna see a deal to die for? It's
I'm
done.
coming over right
He
now.
said it himself,
I
guys.
got
The Deal to Die For is ready. We got it.
A deal to die for is done, Chris. Wanna check it out? And then not provide a link.
If that was
That's
the
how we
case and that was
know.
me, I'd be like sitting there waiting at the keyboard like,
Yes, I need it. Where is it? Where's the
And-
link?
and-
Come on, man.
and Trevor would be dead already, and then it would be my fault. So
Would have had my face beaten in by the kidnapper. I'd be gone.
Who says they're gonna beat you?
No,
They might
I
just-
also I would do it specifically via Twitter. Because Chris rags on me for how much I'm on Twitter, which yeah, I'm on
That
Twitter
is
a lot.
true.
Sorry. I'm working on it. I'm not on Instagram anymore though, at least not as much. Life update. All right,
Chris,
Chris,
what would you
the man who posed us the question. We need an answer from you because you've had the
I
most
feel
time to
like-
think about this because you actually were the one who knew the question first off.
So the problem is, I'm not sure which answer I want. If I could text anybody, I would just say, "Man, Dark Skies by Fit for a King sucks." Everybody would come to my aid.
That is true.
literally, if you mention anything bad about Silent Planet or like you say you hate metal,
Yes.
I will legit.
Chris would be like,
Fly
he'd
there.
be like, man, I just love me some dubstep country.
You know
I'd be
what?
like-
All I'm picturing is Chris putting on Twitter being like, you know what, guys? T Swift is fantastic. Everyone be like, all right, something's up with that.
And see, that'd be kind of cheating to answer the question because I gotta pick someone specifically. I would pick Marcus, and I would tell him, "Hey, I'm thinking of buying Space Iron Man for $40.
Yeah.
You'll know exactly what I'm
Oh, there
talking
you go.
about."
I would be like, oh,
Marcus would be
oh,
like,
we gotta go.
Is it
You
cardboard?
have gotten his
Is
attention.
it cardboard?
So
Is it
there's
cardboard?
one of two ways I know Marcus would react. One would be, I'm going to stop you and show you my Magic the Gathering collection and show you just the hole you're going to go down. Or B, yeah, I'm coming over. I'll buy one too. Either way, he's there.
Exactly.
And I'll be there. I don't know.
If you really want me to rush over, just say you have a Krispy Kreme donut waiting for me.
Well, now we
Marcus, I got
know.
a Krispy Kreme
I
donut waiting for
forget.
you.
Do you have any Krispy
Alright,
Kremes?
I'll be there in a second.
Sadly, no. There are no Krispy Kreme. Well,
Oh, I was
the
asking.
closest
Marcus
one is
specifically,
Washington.
but-
Oh, there's like one like 30 minutes.
Chris, let me
away.
check
Oh,
for you. I
wow.
got you.
We
I
have
got
one
you.
near
He
my
was able to find
campus.
a
you got me, fam.
We have one
We
near
did
my
find a
campus,
Chick-fil-A.
and I know a friend of mine. Her dad actually works there, so she's got the hookup for us. Like she's like, I'm gonna get you guys some free
Ooh.
donuts, and I'm
Chris,
like,
I got-
I'm gonna
I got
be
two
living
of-
this
I got three of
semester,
them.
man.
Chris, there are
How?
3 Krispy Kremes. One in Missoula, one in Kalispell, and one in Billings.
What is with Kalispell and having all the good restaurants? I
It's
swear.
time to move, Chris. Time
It
to
is
move.
time to
Kalispell.
move.
Time to
There we
commute,
go.
man.
See, the closest
Oof.
Krispy Kreme to me is like an hour, like everything else.
Closest to me is
I
like
mean,
10
the
minutes.
closest thing to you, yeah, everything else is an hour.
Well, okay, Wellington, 30 minutes. So even then, it's not that bad. But
Wellington.
Sam's
That's
like
how I-
10 minutes away from the Oklahoma border.
yeah, no, literally, I'm 3 miles from the Oklahoma. I might as well be in Oklahoma.
He could walk. He could jog into
ransacking.
Oklahoma.
I'm gonna actually.
No,
and then
really,
jog
that's
back.
what we did. That's what we did in cross country for like practice. We'd start at the school, and we'd run
course.
to the Oklahoma border and run back.
Yeah,
That's what
a
we
weird
did.
Field trip for him.
It was every single day. But the only thing that sucks about being like an hour away from everything, I want a Nintendo Switch so bad, but
Yes, you
nothing around me has it.
Well,
and the closest place I have to go.
Nobody has them.
No, the
That's the
closest
thing.
place.
The
No, I
shortage is
looked.
real.
I looked. The closest place I could go to get a Switch would be Dallas.
Oh my lord.
Texas?
Dallas, Texas.
No, Virginia.
Wow.
There's more than one Dallas. I know that for a fact.
Dallas, Montana, of course.
Dallas,
There you
Mon-
go.
Dallas-
Probably
I
has
swear,
Krispy
there's
Kreme
got to
too.
be a town
Dallas,
named Dallas
Maine.
here.
Come on, Trev, get it together. And then the other one would be like, what was it? It was like North Kansas City. So it was like
That's kind of closer, I guess, but
that's gonna be 4 hours with
ways.
traffic.
oh, never
The
mind. I lied.
closest one to me was at least when I looked up like online if there were any in stock near me. It was like 65 miles away, so it was like it was going to be about an hour.
I would say I know
This
this
is
is like a totally different tangent, but I would say like wait till
That's
like
just
Black
the name
Friday.
of the game.
Yeah. Well, I just okay.
It's
This
actually not a bad
is,
idea.
This
They
is
will
gonna
be
sound
back
really
in stock
sad,
then.
and I'm gonna sound really sad, and I'm really sorry. The only reason I want to Switch is for 3 games. I want Smash, Mario Kart, and I want Animal Crossing. Those are the only 3 games I want for a
He
Switch.
really wants Animal Crossing.
Fourth,
Dude, I want Animal
Untitled
Crossing
Goose
so
Game.
bad.
Untitled Goose.
Sam, you gotta get Untitled Goose Game. It is so stupid fun.
Oh, I
It is
Breath
stupid
of the
fun.
Wild.
Two, do it.
I mean, I've already told
So-
these guys, but for the sake of the audience, I played Untitled Goose Game on Orion's Switch, Ryan from BCC, while we were camping, and that game was stupid addictive. Granted, every adult within a 20-mile radius was like, why do you bring technology into woods, blah, blah. I don't care. It was fun. I got to torment digital people with my digital goose. I was just, flapping my wings for, supremacy and honking. It was great.
Supremacy.
So to end off this podcast recording, this is a cry for help from Sam. He really wants a Nintendo Switch. If anyone is near one and can easily get access to one for him, talk to Sam. Get a hold of him on Twitter or something. I don't know. Help a
But
brother
first,
out.
we gotta wait till that stimulus check hits, and then we
Oh
can.
my god.
Okay.
If it hits.
Or until you sell a kidney, one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, I guess three weeks I can afford one. Well, technically 4. I have to be able to buy Animal Crossing. So
You could donate some plasma or something, you know?
Exactly.
I can't donate plasma. I can give blood, but I can't donate plasma. They won't let me.
Nah,
Rip.
it's alright.
It's weird.
Well, we'll check out the medical requirements after the podcast then.
That's true.
Exactly.
I have a rare blood type, so
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you
I just
special?
shot finger guns in the webcam. So if you guys are missing that,
Oh my gosh.
Kaboom.
Well, on that fourth wall breaking note, thanks for listening to this episode of the Frame100 podcast. If you would like to donate to Sam's Switch account, we don't have a Patreon, so you'll just have to deal with it. But if you have any thoughts on any of the topics we discussed today, please leave a comment or tag us on Twitter with hashtag Frame100. We'd also like to thank Lots of Toast for the awesome theme music. Please check out his channel and support his work. If you want to hear more from us, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Until then, stay tuned for our next episode, and keep brick filming.